What is up, guys? Citrus here, and welcome to the Week 11 devlog for Spirit Seeker. There's only a few things for development this week. You'll see probably the first noticeable thing is the icons in the bottom left corner. Having some trouble with my directions there. And that, I think, is just a nice change to make the game look a little bit nicer and also clarify to the player what exactly those power-ups are going to do. And another thing is these enemies here, they used to have a solid collider on them, so they would just they pass through the player now, but previously they would push the player up onto their heads, and then the player would be able to surf the enemies. And the ranged enemies, for some reason, I decided it would be great to lock their aim to the x-axis, but now they can shoot up at the player. So even if I did get pushed up onto the enemy's heads, which is impossible now, I could still get shot at. And I think that was a very important change to have the player or the enemies be able to shoot up at the player, because with the level up jump height upgrades, there is definitely a lot of airtime for certain runs. And I don't think there's any other changes with the enemies. But the player has a couple of movement changes, one of them being with the jumping. There is no longer equivalent horizontal movement in the air as there is on the ground, because previously you could just jump up and you would move around in the air the same as you would on the ground, and that's not how that works. So now the player will have limited movement in the air, which I think makes the jump height a little less broken. And also, diagonal movement used to be faster. I think it might still be slightly faster, but it used to be way faster than moving in the cardinal directions. So that has been changed as well, and that is a lot nicer, because especially when you had sprint, like you'd sprint and you would go diagonally and you would just whip through the maze. It was ridiculously fast. And now that is no longer a thing. So yeah, just a lot of minor bug changes throughout the course of this week. And also, of course, the game pitch that I talked about a lot. And that happened on Wednesday for me. I think it went fairly well, and it seems the students at Dakota State University did as well, because Spirit Seeker was voted as the second most popular choice. And so it will, in fact, be getting a team to develop it throughout the course of the next school year. And that is super duper exciting. It's going to be really cool to have a team to work on this, accelerate its project progress way past what it could do with just me as a solo developer, because there will be talented people who can do things that I can't. And there's multiple hands, and many hands make for light work, so it'll be going a lot faster too. But there's also, kind of the anxiety of like, oh, people are kind of depending on this project now to like be a good portfolio piece, maybe bring in a little bit of revenue when it finally does get released. And there's hopes for like an early release around this time next year, because school year's just wrapping up now. And yeah, just wow, it's crazy how far this game has come from being just my personal educational project to kind of teach me a little more about game dev to now having a full team. And it's just come so far beyond what I thought it could, and that's just the beautiful thing about it, is the way it's continued to defy my expectations. And I gotta say thank you to all of you, everyone who's been supporting me on this journey so far. It's been an amazing trek to where I've gotten now, and I'm sure the journey will be all the more gratifying in the months to come. So thank you all for everything, and I hope you will continue to follow this journey with me, and I'll have, hopefully, a game for those of you who haven't gotten the chance to try it out, released on Steam and probably itch at around this time next year. So thanks again for everything you guys have done. Thank you for tuning in to this week's video, and I will see you next week if all goes according to plan. Peace out, guys.